Hey, what's going on, you guys? Thanks for clicking on this video. I went ahead and did a recipe for you guys today. I made some coconut ghee. I've never had ghee before and I've never had coconut ghee, so I thought what better way to have the flavor of butter and get coconut oil in at the same time and mix them together. So this is what it looks like. I've already played with it a little bit because it was in the fridge and so it got a little hard. Coconut oil and butter gets pretty hard, so when you store it in the fridge it's just going to get hard. So I've been playing with it because I want to put it on a tortilla. That's what it looks like. And it tastes just like caramel, which is really good. It has that flavor, but let me go get my tortilla. I'm gonna spread this on and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so I went ahead and made my little treat so I can show you guys the ghee. And this right here is just my tortilla. It's actually coconut flour and psyllium husk tortilla, no egg included. And I have some ghee on there and some pure sweetener and some cinnamon. And this is gonna be so good. I used to love to put cinnamon sugar and butter on tortillas like back in the day, so let's go ahead and try this because I'm sure it's gonna be so good. I love these tortillas. This recipe is gonna be coming soon. I just have to go get some more stuff. That ghee is so good. It has like a sweet undertone. All the milk solids have been cooked out and I used unsalted butter, so it's not salty at all. Yummy, you guys. So if you guys want to see how I made this coconut ghee, then go ahead and keep watching the video. Hey you guys, okay, so I used a nut milk bag to strain my ghee, and you're going to need a knife, a cutting surface, and a scale, unless you want to use measuring cups or anything like that. I always just love to use my scale because it's super easy. You're going to need a medium saucepan with a heavy bottom. You're going to need 1 full pound of butter, unsalted butter, otherwise your ghee is going to be super salty. And my butter fell out of the fridge a couple times, but that's not going to matter. You're going to need a big spoon to do your stirring and some naturally refined coconut oil, which I prefer just because it doesn't have the coconut flavor. So I went ahead and I chopped up my butter into smaller cubes. That way it would melt a little more quickly and evenly. So I put my pan over a medium heat and I just melted my butter until it was completely melted, stirring every now and then. You don't really have to do a whole lot right here. Just make sure that it melts. So once the butter is all the way melted, you're going to see that it starts to foam. And you're going to keep stirring until the butter starts to simmer and then turn the heat down to a medium-low. It really depends on your burner. The burner I was using was a huge burner, so I turned mine more on the low side. And then you won't be doing much for a few minutes. You're just going to want to stir it every now and then. And then shortly after the butter starts to foam, it will become thinner and the bubbles will be more clear instead of chunky and foamy. And you can see here the milk solids are starting to curdle. And then they're going to want to start to stick to the sides of the pan. So you're going to want to take your spoon and run it along the edges of the pan to kind of help the milk solids to the bottom of the pot. And you want to make sure that they don't stick to the sides of the pan and burn. It's okay if they like sink down to the bottom and start to brown because that's actually what you're going to want. So when the solids sink to the bottom, the butter will become more clear and the foam will start to disappear, as you can kind of see. So every time I scrape along the edges, the milk solids will sink to the bottom even more. And the butter is going to turn a golden color and the solids will begin to brown. And that's why the butter is going to turn a golden color, is because the milk solids will start to brown. So you're going to keep stirring gently and scraping the sides so the milk solids don't burn. Thank you. And once your butter begins to foam a second time, the ghee is done. So right here you can tell that it's starting to foam a second time and the bubbles are getting really, really tiny. And then I noticed right here in a second that the foam was having little brown specks, and that is the milk solids at the bottom, kind of not quite burning, but they were definitely getting brown. So that's when I totally ended the process and I took the ghee off the burner. And right here I'm measuring out my coconut oil. I'm doing 1/4 pound, which is 4 ounces. So I went ahead and measured that out. Okay, and then I lined my measuring cup with my nut milk bag, which I'm super glad that I bought these. I got these on eBay and they were $3, I think, and I got 2 of them and they have been super helpful. So I went ahead and poured my ghee into my measuring cup, and I kind of avoided dumping all of those milk solids in the bottom. just because easier cleanup, right? So I took that out, and it really saved me a bunch of time, and I didn't have to use cheesecloth, and these things are reusable and they were really easy to clean. I just cleaned it under hot soapy water for a few seconds, and that was super easy. So this is what it's going to look like. There's no milk solids in there at all, and it's all pretty. And at this point, while the ghee is still hot, I went ahead and just vigorously stirred in my coconut oil, and until it was like completely incorporated. It didn't separate or anything like that. It stayed combined, which I was really happy about because I've never done this before, and it turned out awesome. I love to store everything in mason jars, so I went ahead and poured my ghee into my mason jar, and there was a little bit left, but I ended up just putting it in an ice cube tray and making little tiny pats of ghee. And you just keep it in your refrigerator, and I left mine on the counter for just a little bit. Put it in your refrigerator and you're good to go. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more. And I hope you guys try this out. If you do, hashtag me on Instagram or tag me, however you want to call it. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!